Kia ora and welcome to MYOB Live2Air. This is going to be the first of a series of MYOB Live2Air webcasts that are going to be coming your way over the course of this year, keeping you up to date on all of the innovations coming from MYOB. Today we've got a special 2015 MYOB Roadshow event. We're going to be here for the next 90 minutes, walking you through all of the innovations and all of the developments coming through not only MYOB's SME product range, but we're also going to be talking about moving Accountants Office and Accountants Enterprise online, something that I'm very excited about. My name is Kevin Rawlings. I'm the General Manager for Practice Solutions. I'm going to be your host for today's webcast. Joining me on the panel today is the CEO of MYOB, Tim Reed, Ben Ross, who is our General Manager of Design and User Experience, and Sally Garton, our Senior Product Manager. So welcome to my fellow panelists. And I know that I wish I looked as fresh-faced as the photo up on screen there. May not look quite as fresh-faced when you come back to us in a moment or two. Now, you can join and follow the Roadshow conversation on Twitter. We'd really love you to join the conversation today and really get involved. You can do that using the hashtag on screen, hashtag MYOB Roadshow. And you can also follow us on all of the usual social media channels. Now, on screen at the moment is an address that I'd really love everybody to take a note of. It's myob.co.nz/showcase. And if you go to that site after today's presentation or at any point, you'll find a series of webinars that we'll be running over the next few months that do a deeper dive on some of the topics that we're going to cover today. And there's some really good content that we'll be covering over the next few weeks and months on a number of these webinars, which are all free of charge. Topics like moving to the next generation of Accountants Office, or taking your practice to the cloud with Accountants Office and Accountants Enterprise Live. So myob.co.nz/showcase. You can also see up on screen just a copy there of the Roadshow brochure. And I'd highly recommend everyone downloads a copy of that brochure. It's a really good companion to what we're going to cover today and something that you can refer to a little bit later on down the track. You can download it by clicking on the link on the bottom corner of your screen. So you should see in front of you at the moment a screenshot of what you can see on your screens. If you go to that bottom right-hand corner, there is a link there. If you click on that link, you can download the brochure from that link. And here's also where you're going to be able to ask us questions. So I'll be receiving a number of questions over the course of the presentation this morning. We hope to cover as many questions from you as we possibly can. If you click on the speech bubble that you'll see there, you'll see a window pop up and you'll be able to ask questions that we will receive here. And as I say, hopefully we'll get a chance to answer as many of those as possible throughout this morning's session. Now, this is the final step. This event today is the final step in our 2015 Roadshow series, and it's been the biggest event of its kind across Australasia. We've been to 48 different locations across New Zealand and Australia. We've had a record 10,500 accountants registered to attend, and we have 2,500 of you joining us for today's webcast. We've been trending on social media, and we've had 35 add-on partners join us at various locations. And so we just wanted to say thank you. Thanks to all of our clients for making this such a successful roadshow. Some of you may be seeing yourselves up on screen as we speak, and we really appreciate your support and coming along to these events that we've been running. Okay, so why don't we get underway? Before we kick off, Tim, if I can just ask you to go to the other part of the studio that we've got set up in the MYOB office here today.
Love to, Kevin.
And just while Tim is getting set up, I'll just ask Ben and Sally what you're really looking forward to covering in your sessions later on. Ben, what have you got in store for us?
So, Kevin, we've got a bunch of great demos. We're going to roll through each of the great innovations that we're delivering to help SMEs and accountants make business life easier. I'm particularly excited about an innovation that we've got that's going to remove paper for accountants and small business owners, and we call that one Smart Bills. So I'll be showing that. Sally, what are you going to share?
Yeah, so for me, it's definitely AE and AO Live, our next generation of software, particularly the portal and the accounting dashboard. Can't wait to show you.
So I can't wait for that either, Sally. So without any further ado, we'll get underway, and if we can hand over now to Tim. Over to you, Tim.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, for the next 15 or 20 minutes, I have the pleasure of presenting MYOB's 2015 strategy. And to do that, what I'd like to do is revisit some of the themes that we left off the 2014 Roadshow with. And the first was, will this be the year where cloud accounting really breaks through? And I posed that question looking at two charts, these two here, but this time I've updated them with another year of data. The orange chart looks at the percentage of new clients to MYOB who are taking a cloud-based subscription over a desktop perpetual license. And as you can see, not only did we cross the 50% mark, we smashed through it. And by the end of the year, 2/3 of clients were choosing online accounting over desktop accounting. And what that means is the numbers on the green chart continued to rise and in fact accelerate their rate through the year. You can see at the end of the year we had 116,000 clients using our cloud accounting solutions. So I would say more than just breakthrough, we absolutely smashed through. 2014 was a pivotal year for cloud accounting. And that's exciting. And the reason it's exciting is captured on these slides here, because it's so great for your clients. Let's just have a look at that first data point. In the month of December, we processed 21 million bank transactions through our small business accounting solutions. At an annual rate, that's about $250 million. Now just think about what used to have to happen. Someone, or many people across New Zealand and Australia, would sit down and key in 21 million transactions per month, $250 million a year. And then they would receive a bank statement and have to go through and manually reconcile that bank statement back to the accounting software. Who'd like to receive a bank statement with $250 million transactions on it and have to go through and do a manual reconciliation? Not many of you, I know. But that's what we used to do. Collectively, across New Zealand and Australia, across many small businesses, bookkeepers and accountants, that's what we used to do. And the reason the cloud accounting, or the first reason that cloud accounting is so great, is it can get rid of some of that manual and tedious work. The other statistics on this slide were captured from a survey that we did, where we asked our clients who use our cloud accounting solutions some questions, and then asked, what did it take before you moved to the cloud? And you can see the time savings here, or the acceleration of their business in terms of their responses. So the first reason cloud accounting is so exciting is because of the value it brings to your clients. The second is because of what it does for you, the way in which it allows you to transform your relationship with your clients. I've got a video that I'd like to play now from Rob Ward at the Institute of Chartered Accountants, where he talks about this.
Value is, again, the connectivity to their advisor, taking out the transactions, because they happen in real time, accessed by both they, as the owner of the business, and their advisors, get to see them at the same time and can be processing them, rather than, remember the old days of sending the shoebox over for small businesses? Well, they're well and truly gone, and the cloud does that. So the connectivity is the great thing, and taking the drudgery out.
So you heard Rob there talk about the core value of cloud accounting, getting rid of the drudgery and the connectivity. We spoke about the drudgery a few minutes ago, but the connectivity, the way in which enables you to work in the present period with your clients, to become more involved with them as a business advisor, to get closer to them and closer to their business, and therefore play a more meaningful role in their lives. Well, one of our clients, one of our partners who is doing that is Andrew Christalis. Andrew runs an accounting practice in Sydney, and I'd like to play for you now a couple of clips from Andrew, firstly where he introduces his practice.
I'm Andrew Christalis, Managing Director of Christalis Accounting. We operate a boutique accountancy practice in Leichhardt, Sydney. Christalis Accounting was founded by my father more than 35 years ago, and I've taken the practice from a small family-owned business to a boutique accountancy practice. We pride ourselves on innovation and technology. It's a crucial part to our business, and the adoption of such technology has enabled us within 5 years to quadruple turnover. I'm Andrew Christalis and I use MYOB.
So you heard Andrew there talk about quadrupling his turnover in 5 years. Let's delve a little bit deeper and hear how he's done that by adding new services to his business, but also transforming the relationship he has with his clients.
Moving online has been great for the firm. I find that we've attracted many more new clients, more sophisticated clients. They're more in tune with technology, and accountants need to move with the times. In-house we have an auditor, and we now have a solicitor, and we have mortgage broking services, Crystalis Finance. The most recent division that we've established has been Innovate Bookkeeping, which is crucial to our business to have a low-cost model to assist clients move into the cloud and assist them to become paperless. So Innovate is a separate business that we operate within Crystalis Accounting, whereby the cost structure is less and we are able to provide bookkeeping advice and bookkeeping services to clients. Moving online has changed the way we bill our clients. We have fixed fee arrangements whereby we bill quarterly in advance or monthly in advance, so they don't have to pay a lump sum at the end of the year when we finish the accounts. It's also equally just as good for us. We are able to run an efficient and profitable practice.
I had the pleasure of having a chat to Andrew a few weeks ago, and I asked him a couple of questions. The first was, if you've quadrupled your revenue, Andrew, where are the new clients coming from? What's working for you, attracting clients to your practice? And he said, Tim, I've tried everything. I've tried advertising here, there, etc. But the overriding thing is word of mouth. My clients are really happy with the way in which we've transformed our practice, and they're telling other people, and that's what's bringing new people to us. I also said, you're obviously investing in your practice, yet I continue to hear that compliance is dead. And not only are you investing in it, you're expanding it by also going into bookkeeping, which rumour has it is also dead. And he just laughed. And he said, Tim, I don't have a single client who can get their GST right. So compliance isn't dead, bookkeeping isn't dead. We've got to change the way we're working, and I think if you don't adopt technology, the way in which you're doing it might die. But for those of us who are moving forward, there is a very, very bright future for our industry. I think there's some real wisdom in those words. So, was 2014 the year where cloud accounting broke through? Absolutely. It smashed through. And you can see it in all the statistics here that I'm putting up just about our business. But I'd like to move on now and talk about 2015 and some of the exciting things that 2015 has in store. At MYOB, our vision is making business life easier. And that's been our vision since the day in which our business was started over 2 decades ago. Last year I said at the moment our strategy of bringing that vision to life is all around making cloud accounting easy for every business. And that will continue into 2015. And that's why I'm so delighted that a month ago we announced the release of MYOB Advanced, the latest member of the MYOB Cloud Accounting family. MYOB Advanced is an entry-level ERP system. So at the small end, it's for businesses of maybe 20 or 30 employees, up to 3, 4, even 500. It's for your clients who are really stretching the limits of MYOB Account Right. It's an online ERP system that is designed to meet the needs of those growing enterprises, the latest member of the MYOB Cloud Accounting family. Last year I also shared with you these 3 words, easy, on the go, better value. And I described them as the core strategic pillars behind our product roadmaps. So we're investing in lots of different areas, but in all of them we continue to ask, is it easy? Can we make it easier? Is it built for an on-the-go world? The way in which you and your clients are working is not stationary. You're A, physically moving, but B, moving between different pieces of work all the time. Have we built it for that on-the-go world? And finally, is it better value? Is it better value than what we've offered in the past? And is it better value than others in the market? These 3 strategic pillars will remain the strategic drivers and the lens or the filter that we put our product roadmaps through in 2015. But if I was to sum up our strategy on a slide, it would have these 3 points on it. SMEs, practice, partner. For small businesses, our strategy is to have the leading portfolio of solutions in the market. We understand that not all businesses are the same, that different business owners have different goals, different dreams, different skills and different ambitions. And therefore we need to have a portfolio of cloud accounting solutions if we want to make cloud accounting right for each and every one of them. Practice. The market-leading, most robust, rich, productivity-driving practice solutions available in the market. That's what Accountants Office and Accountants Enterprise have offered to both New Zealand and Australian practices for years. And we are going to invest to continue to make sure that they hold that prized and privileged position right at the top of the market going forward. In 2015, we'll be investing in both the on-premise solutions as well as continuing our investment in the upcoming cloud versions of AO and AE. And finally, partners. We understand that by having a portfolio of solutions might be great for your clients because there's the right solution for each client, but as a partner, that can create complexity. And we are developing solutions specific to you as partners to make sure that we ease that, whether it's a single sign-on that works across all of our products or our upcoming accounting dashboard, a single place where you can move between the ledgers of your different clients, even if they're using different MYOB accounting solutions, without having to log in, log out, sign in, sign off. Solutions for small businesses, for practices, and for all of you as partners. Let's just dig into each of those areas for a minute or two. In terms of SME solutions, MYOB Banklink, MYOB Essentials, and MYOB AccountWrite. MYOB Banklink, the perfect solution for businesses that don't want to do the accounting and are better leaving that to you. MYOB Banklink offers unrivaled productivity for you, being able to make sure that you can do the accounting for your clients. We have invested through 2014 in new features in MYOB Banklink Practice, and will continue to do so in 2015, investing in the current generation of Banklink Practice, but also, excitingly, we've started to invest in taking Banklink Practice online. And you'll hear more about that as 2015 progresses. MYOB Essentials, easy online accounting for less than $1 a day, has won wide praise and applause for its very simple and intuitive user interface. MYOB Essentials is the perfect solution for a business that wants to get in, get the accounting done, and get back to work. Finally, MYOB AccountWrite, seriously flexible cloud accounting for business owners who really want to take control, who want to manage their inventory, who want to assign costs to specific jobs, who want to track time, who really want to get important management information out of their accounting solution. A portfolio of solutions designed for different businesses, different business owners with different capabilities, different dreams, and different aspirations. We invested in all of these across 2014. You can see some of the enhancements on the screen. I call out MYOB Essentials Cashbook. It was a new member of our family in 2014 and one that is going great guns. If you haven't had a look at it, please contact your partner manager to do so. We'll continue to invest in all these platforms in 2015, but you can see here a new member of the MYOB Cloud Accounting family called quite simply Ledger. A complement to AOGL or AE Massa accounts, the Ledger will be available as a part of our practice suites, enabling you to have all of your ledgers in an online or cloud-based environment. Stay tuned because you'll hear more about that in the months ahead. We're not just investing inside each of the individual products, we're also investing around the outside, making it easy to onboard new clients, easy to start leveraging new features and capabilities, and easy to upgrade as perhaps a business grows or their circumstances change and they want to move between different products within our overall portfolio. Making it easy is a big theme for us in 2015. Making cloud accounting easy for every business means making it easy for every practice as well. At last year's Roadshow, I shared with you that our board had signed off on a $40 to $50 million investment program to take Accountants Office and Accountants Enterprise online. I'm delighted to say that we're now a year into that investment program and we'll be bringing to market in the upcoming weeks the first modules or components of the live version of AO and AE. Called MYOB Portal, this first module enables you to collaborate online with your clients, enables you to get wet signatures, make them a thing of the past, and have electronic signatures on documents where you share documents and your client responds to them on their mobile device straight back to you in your practice. Ben and Sally will go into MYOB Portal in a little more detail in just a few minutes. Making business life easier. It is where we started our business, and it is the vision that continues to drive us, the one thing that all MYOB team members are united by and inspired by. And that means that we're going to be making it easy to leverage our great banking capabilities, to develop more automation like MYOB Smart Bills, to be developing mobile solutions, market-leading mobile payments and mobile accounting solutions, to be integrating payments right into the accounting system so that any time one of your clients generates an invoice from an MYOB solution, they can also offer their clients easy-to-use, on-the-spot payment options. Our add-on solutions, 150 partners have now developed add-on solutions that connect through our APIs, adding to the richness and robustness of the overall ecosystem and growing every single day. And finally, collaboration. Getting back to what Rob Ward said, it's the connectivity. It's the way in which we can bring you and your clients together to transform your relationship with your clients and enable you to contribute more back to them. I'm excited about what 2015 holds in store, excited about what we'll be delivering to you as business partners, excited about what we'll be delivering to your clients, things that will bring you closer together, that will improve their businesses and that will drive your productivity. That's it for the update on strategy. Kevin, it's now back to you.
Okay, thank you, Tim. So I might just welcome Tim back to the panel. Welcome back, Tim.
Thank you, Kevin.
Now, we've had a number of questions come through actually about Banklink, and I know that we wanted to talk about Banklink in a moment or two, and we have got some slides to cover in just a second or two. But I might paraphrase a couple of the questions that have come through here, Tim. Can you give the audience a sense of just why Banklink is important to MYOB's overall strategy?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be delighted to. So Banklink is a core component of MYOB's product strategy, and the reason is that it's just such a fantastic product. You know, it meets a need in the market better than anything else available. For all those businesses who really don't want to do their accounting and would like you to do it for them, it is unparalleled in terms of the productivity that allows you to work on their behalf. I know that there's been conversation and even rumours about the future of Banklink at MYOB, and I'd like to address those head on. Banklink is absolutely fundamental to our strategy going forward. We love Banklink at MYOB, and Banklink has an incredibly bright future as a part of the MYOB family. We are investing in Banklink, both the current generation of Banklink Practice as well as an online version of Banklink, which will take Banklink many, many years into the future. So, Kevin, to answer the question directly, it's fundamental to our strategy because it's such a great product and addresses the needs of a very important part of the market.
Great to hear. And look, a few more questions that we've had come through about Banklink. They're really all sort of wrapped up in the one sort of main theme, Tim. So we might just put the slides up on screen here that we were going to cover, because I know the slides cover these questions. Really, the questions are based around what the future is for Banklink. So one of you can talk to that a little bit here, Tim.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, the slide you can see now just talks to some of the features that have been released and will be released in Banklink Practice, and it's just part of our ongoing investment in the Banklink Practice product. We also really have a vision of improving memorisations or MEMS within Banklink. And one of the things that we noted is that the MEMS engine is incredibly powerful, but generally underutilised by clients. We should be getting up to sort of 80 and 90% memorisations, and we see many clients who are sort of in the 30% range. And so we've taken on the challenge ourselves of saying, how do we ensure your success by really using MEMS more widely in the product? And that's a real drive for us in 2015. And of course, Kevin, beyond that, as I mentioned, is the investment that we're currently making around taking Banklink online. So building out the future, the next generation of Banklink.
Great. All right. Thank you, Tim. All right. We might just come back to the panel and we'll just change tack a little bit. We had some questions coming through about MYOB Advance. So, Tim, can you tell the audience sort of where MYOB Advance fits into the range?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be delighted to. So as I said, MYOB Advanced is our cloud-based entry-level ERP system. Now, ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, is really sort of the category of software for bigger organisations. And we've been in that mid-market space for 6 or 7 years now with our EXO product range. And if you think of sort of going from BankLink up to Essentials to AccountWrite and then up to EXO, there was always quite a jump from a client who was sort of maxing out on what AccountWrite could provide, but where EXO would come in. So MYOB Advanced, firstly, it is completely cloud-based. It has a browser interface. And secondly, it's going to come in 3 different flavours. And the first one, the first stepping off point, is less of a jump from AccountWrite to where the current jump to EXO is. So it's sort of a mid-landing point, if you like. The second version of EXO will then be about where, Advanced will be about where EXO is today, and then the final version will extend even higher up to larger enterprises, Kevin. So it's a really important part of the market, that growing enterprise space. My view is that it's probably been the least well-served space in the overall market. At very high end, you've got some big multinational corporations. At the low end, I think ourselves and our competitors have done a good job serving clients' needs. But in the middle there's been a little bit of an empty space, and Advanced will really fit beautifully into that spot.
Great, okay, thank you. You also talked about the 1.2 million active users of MYOB, Tim. What do you see as the real opportunity for partners there?
Yeah, so we do have 1.2 million businesses actively using our accounting solutions today. Some of them have really close relationships with their partners, with accountants, with bookkeepers, with approved partners, you know, and they really strengthen because of those relationships. They're able to get more insight, they're able to be more efficient in their business, focus on the things that they want to do, and rely on you as a trusted business advisor to help them in other areas. But many don't. And so one of the things, one of the real pushes that we have on at the moment is to really promote our partners to our clients, really trying to reach out to those 1.2 million businesses and make sure they're aware of all of the great offerings and great services that our partners provide. So I think there's a great opportunity there, Kevin, and I really think that cloud-based accounting drives that, because it's just so much more natural to be collaborating and working closely with a partner, with a trusted advisor, than the desktop technology enabled.
Great. Okay, now I'm going to get a chance to grill you a little bit more, Tim, but just while we do that, if I can ask Ben and Sally just to go to the other part of our studio here and just get ready for their session in a moment or two. Tim, there are a few questions coming through, and I might just sort of paraphrase this. You mentioned the word easy a few times, and just a few questions from partners saying, well, what does that really mean, and what can they expect in 2015?
Yeah, I guess it means a few things, Kevin. The first is that it is a loud statement as to the filters that we're putting our product teams through in the way in which they're developing products going forward. And for good reason. Some of the feedback we've had is, you know, this product is fantastic, but the effort for me to get my clients onto it is just, you know, a hurdle higher than it should be. Now I'm there, I love it, but moving there. So one of the things when we really stood back and had a look at this is we've been very focused on making sure that we have the best portfolio of products available in the market. Now we're looking at everything that goes around the outside of that. So what's the onboarding experience? How can we drive feature usage and feature uptake within the product? How do we handle clients that want to move from one product in our portfolio to another? And how do we make that really easy for them as well? So it's all of those, if you like, non-functional parts of the overall experience of using our products. And easy sits across there. Certainly it sits within the product, but it extends beyond the product. We want to be a business partner that is really easy for you to work with. We want our partners to be able to accomplish things on behalf of their clients and for it to be easy for them to do that. So it's a real cultural drive within our organisation, but it's also a significant pillar around which we're basing our product strategies.
Great, okay, thank you, Tim. So we are going to cover some more of your questions a little bit later on, so do please keep them coming through. But right now we're going to take a bit of a deeper dive on the innovations coming through the SME product range and also what's coming up for accountants in practice as well. And to do that, we'll hand over to the other part of our studio. And so over to you, Ben and Sally.
Thanks very much, Kevin. So for the next 40 minutes, Sal and I are going to run through all of our product strategies that make business life easier for you and for your clients. We thought the most powerful way of doing that is through the lens of a small business owner and their accountant. So for the purposes of today, Sally is going to play the role of the accountant.
That's me.
And I'm going to introduce you in a moment to our client for the day, who's a real MYOB customer, and his name is Ivan. And Ivan runs a Mexican food truck called Ives Burritos. Let's meet Ivan.
I'm Ivan Zareski. I run a Mexican food truck based in Melbourne called Ives Burritos. We do gourmet Tex-Mex burritos. We do private and corporate catering as well as some street trading, and pretty much anywhere where the party is, we'll go. When I finished university, I wouldn't have said that I'd be starting my own business, and I never had that entrepreneurial urge either. I just realised after a while working in an office that I really like cooking. And I'm only happy in the kitchen.
It's great how much Ivan loves his work. So over the next 40 minutes, we're going to run through each of our product strategies in turn, and we're going to show you what we're delivering to make business life easier. So we've decided to start with banking because we believe that bank feeds are the killer app for small business owners and their advisors. There's just simply no other way of getting such a large volume of accurate, real-time transactions banged into the accounting software. So let's listen to what one of our partners has got to say about how powerful bank feeds are for her.
Online accounting packages have absolutely changed the way that accountants, bookkeepers and small business owners work, but not just on their own, but working together as well. The biggest thing for small businesses is it's given them extra time. I don't know about you, but as a small business person myself, the biggest thing I need is more time in my day. And I mean, MYOB have done some research. They say that it saves 10 hours a month. I mean, you think about it. If you actually automate the boring data entry that small business people are doing every day, all of a sudden you've got an extra 10, 20, 30 hours a month.
So we love bank feeds, and they're a clear winner. And we bought BankLink over a year and a half ago now for over $120 million because we saw the value of accurate, real-time bank transactions. And so since then, we've added even more banks to get direct feeds, direct connections from them. And so our whole mission here is to make sure that these feeds are accurate in an unrivaled way. And so when you look at our customers, they say things like this. That we've got hundreds of clients and our bank feeds have always been 100% accurate. And the reason for that is because we actually have a great team of people at BankLink that have been working on making sure that the bank feeds don't have any gaps in data and there's no duplicate transactions. So you can be 100% confident that when we get a feed directly from the bank, that we've scanned it and applied algorithms to it to make sure that it's nice and clean. So Tim asked me and said, listen, like Ben, you've got this big variety of banks that we've got direct connected feeds from, and we've got these great algorithms that make the feeds really accurate. So what are you going to do next to make sure that we're taking it to the next level? And I'd like to share with you that our view is that we've just got to make these feeds much easier for your clients to actually initiate and start. And so you may recall the paper forms that you used to have to fill out for BankLink. What we've done is we've worked with our friends at ASB, and now you can actually apply for bank feeds inside of the product, and those bank feeds will start flowing the next day. And so that can save you and your clients up to 9 days of processing time. And coming soon, we're working with ANZ to have the same thing. So the benefits are clear. Like if you're someone like Ivan, you get to have these bank feeds that are free. They're in the product. They're up to date always. So it makes sure that your transactions are coming in real time. And because they're BankLink bank feeds, you don't have, as an advisor, you don't have to ask your client to give you their username and password. So as Ivan, I don't need to give my accountant my username and password, and my bank feeds flow into the accounting system. But Sal, you're an accountant, so in real life as well. So tell us, how are bank feeds great for you?
So there's a couple of things. I mean, I love the fact that I can log into Ivan's Essentials accounting file, and I know that his cash position is always up to date every morning. So I know where financially he's sitting. But I think it's much more than that. As a practice, I recognise the efficiencies I gain by having bank feeds turned on in all of the ledgers across the practice. Clients these days won't pay me to do data entry. So I'm far more efficient and of course less write-offs when I've got bank feeds turned on across the complete client base.
We learned a lot about automation from seeing the power of bank feeds in action. And that's why I want to talk a little bit more about some of the big automation innovations that we're bringing to you. The first one is that came from the insight that when you look at the Essentials accounting dashboard, bank feeds has made half of it very accurate and the other half not so much. So all of those historical transactions that come in from the bank feed are all accurate and up to date. But that's all in the past. What about for small business owners when they're looking into the future to understand what their obligations and their cash flow looks like going forward? So what they really need to do is all of those supplier invoices, all those bills that are out there, and they're in paper or they're on a spike in their office, need to be able to be sucked into the accounting system as easy as it was to suck the bank feed data into the accounting system. And for that, we developed this new technology that we call Smart Bills. So what Smart Bills does is it allows you to get a supplier invoice and scrape the data off it and push that information directly into your accounting software. So no longer are you going to have bits of paper lying around that are valuable data that, if they were otherwise in your accounting system, would help you run your business. And the great thing about Smart Bills is that because you take an image of those bills, you can attach the source document to the transaction. And so that's great for Sally as the accountant to be able to verify entries in the accounting system. So enough talking about it, let's do a demo. So let's jump into Essentials Accounting and take a look at what this looks like on the screen. So what you'll notice here is that there's a new part of the screen that's called in tray. So the in tray is where we want those bits of paper to somehow magically appear. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through two different ways that we get those bits of paper, those bills, to appear inside this accounting software. The first one I'm particularly excited about, and that's using my mobile phone. So here you can see I've got my mobile phone, we're live here, and if I'm Ivan, I'm in Ivan's email account, and Ivan's received a bill from one of his suppliers, and it's Con the Fruiterer, and Con's fruit and veg. So Ivan's able to go into that and take a look. So he can zoom in a little bit, and he can see that Con's fruit and veg is based in Auckland. Yeah, GST registered. Yep, this is my guy. Yep, I did buy that many lettuce, that much tomatoes, this much onions, and that's how much it costs, and all the GST information's in there. So there's a wealth of data there, and it's all accurate. And once he's checked that, he's able to go back, and all he needs to do is press forward and forward it to a special address, which is bills at essentials.myb.co.nz. So he just presses that and shoots it off. And now, magically, all of that information in the bill, plus the image of the bill, will appear in his Essentials accounting software. And we use this great technology called optical character recognition to achieve that. And you can see here that it's already there. Sal, show us another way of getting those bills in. This way it's called drag and drop.
So I'm simply going into my File Explorer view, and I've got another invoice here from Tony's Tortillas, and I simply drag and drop that in as another way of getting the same data.
Lovely. So you'll see the little cogs there, and that's the optical character recognition, actually reading all the data from the bill and pulling it out. And so if you open up that first one that I sent from my mobile phone, let's create that new bill from that bill, and we can see here that all of those blue fields have been automatically read and inputted into the accounting software, requiring no manual rekeying by Ivan. And all Sally needs to do is choose which account that she would like that bill to be put to. So in this case, it's food, and press save, and it's done. So this is a fantastic bit of functionality. If we just go back to the slide, Sally, like this really is a time saver for Ivan. Like, it's free, it's in AccountRight, and it's in Essentials, and it really saves him a ton of data entry, and it really turns his accounting system from an accounting system into a business management system, because all of the information in there is correct as at today, and he's able to get a really good view of his cash flow obligations into the future. So Sally, as the accountant, how's this a winner for you?
So I'm really starting to get a fantastic picture of Ivan's business now. I've got his cash in there, I've got his bills in there, I understand his obligations. But the thing I love the most here is the source documents. The number of times I have to put down a job and pick up a job again at year end when I'm doing the work papers because I'm waiting for Ivan to send me something is amazing. So I am just far more efficient because I can get on with the end of year work and complete it.
Nice one. So you saw a moment ago that we use the mobile phone as part of the workflow. We're big fans of mobile phones, and we think that they're an important part of our development plans going forward. You know, all of your customers have got a smartphone in their pocket, and we're going to make sure that we use them to capture transactions in real time. So you may recall last year we launched an app that we call MYOB On The Go. And so On The Go is all about seeing your contacts, being able to send an invoice, and potentially take payment. So it's a free app. It works over Essentials and AccountRight, and it's available in the App Store, both on iOS App Store and Google Play for Android phones. So let's jump in and let me show you a demo rather than talking about it. So here we are again on my phone. We jump in, and this is the MYOB On The Go app. So what you can see here is I can see my contacts, invoices, and take payment. Let's jump into a contact. So I press contacts, and I can see all of my customers. The great thing here is I don't just see my customers, but I see how much they owe me, or if I owe them. So just selecting one of them at random, I can also see my suppliers if I wish. If I press suppliers at the top, let me flick back to customers, and let's take a look at Reese Bateman. So this second customer here. So you can see here, Reese is a contact of mine. He owes me $3,750. And I know where he lives because I can press on his address and it comes up nice and quickly like that, or I can press this and I can see his email address and send him an email or give him a call. And the great thing here is I can also see all of the invoices that I've sent Reese in the past and whether he's paid them or not. So Ivan's running a great business. And Reese loves Ivan's Burritos. And Reese runs a team at his office, and he likes to have big burrito parties. And so if he contacts Ivan and says, "Hey, Ive, I'd love to have another burrito party," Ivan can send him an invoice for that on the spot. So all he needs to do is press this plus button in the top right-hand corner, and he presses that. And what it's doing now is it's pulling down all of the items that Ivan sells, and you can see them in this top bar, and he can scroll through them and choose which one he wants to sell to Reese. So in this case, Reese wants to have one of his big-time office burrito parties, and so it's filled out the rest of it. It's $1,000. It's GST of 10%. So if he presses save, that's created a full-blown Essentials invoice, and then he's able to press email and shoot that off to Reese. So that's a pretty nifty way to see your contacts and send invoices. So if we jump back to the slides, you can see here that this is a great way to see your contacts, send invoices, reduce data entry. All of this happens in real time using your mobile phone. So why is this a winner for you, Sal?
Yeah, so again, it's about providing the clearest picture to me of Ive's business. So he's not waiting till the end of the month anymore to put all his invoices in the system, especially when Ivan's always on the go. He's rarely at home. So I now know that his invoices are in, and you know what? I know that the sooner you're invoiced client, the sooner you get paid.
Yeah, that's right. We see getting paid as an important part of the accounting workflow, and that's why we've invested in payments technology that works not only off the back of the phone, but also inside inside AccountRight and Essentials Accounting. So I'd love to show you that now. Let's go into payments, and I want to introduce to you the payments capability that we've got here. So what we've done is we've teamed up with a partner to be able to offer this Pay Direct card reader that takes chip and pin chip and pin card transactions. And the great thing about this is that it's already available in Australia, but we're working hard with partners in New Zealand to make sure that you can sign up super easily for this and onboard into this great service. Listen, I'll start by showing you a quick video about how this service works. So let me introduce you to Dr. Mo. So what a fantastic story for Dr. Mo. Like we love this. He's a real customer of MYOB's and loves Pay Direct. So enough talking. Let me show you a demo of what this looks like in real life. So let's say Reese wanted to pay Ivan right then and there on the spot. And so what he can do is he can use the app, and in the top right-hand corner, that now says Take Payment. So if he presses that button, it's now automatically picked up the details from that invoice. And because we're doing a real life transaction, I'm not going to take payment for $1,000. I'll take payment for $5. We'll choose the card and it'll go into my check account. And so what it's doing now is it's talking to this Pay Direct card reader. And it's asking Sally to insert her card, and she can choose FPOS or credit card and put her PIN in, and that transaction, put my PIN in, and that transaction's done. So now it's talking to the bank using the mobile phone, and that transaction is done. Like, how speedy is that? So when we talk about cash flow, this type of technology is really making a huge difference. So, so don't take our word for it. Let's actually cross to Ivan, and let's hear what Ivan's got to say about his experience using Pay Direct.
Before, we could only accept cash, mainly because you need, like, if you want to put an FPOS system in near the hardline kind of internet line into the truck, it shouldn't be necessary in this day and age, really, to kind of not accept FPOS, really. The Pay Direct also is really easy to kind of keep a track of.
So that's called Pay Direct. That's available on your mobile phone. But, you know, that's great for a bunch of customers that are there with their credit card ready to pay you on the spot. But we know that some of your customers don't want to pay you then and there and just bust out their credit card and swipe away. And for those, we've got another offering that we call Pay Direct Online. And so what Pay Direct Online lets you do is send an invoice out, and that invoice is a web page, and that web page is able to be accessed by your customers, and they can pay off the back of it. So rather than me talking about it more, let me show you the latest designs that our engineers are developing as we speak. So a moment ago, you would have seen me send an invoice from my mobile phone to Reese. So this is what Reese's inbox looks like in his Gmail inbox that I've sent that invoice to. So Sally, if you just click on that, you'll see that it says, "Hey Reese, here's that invoice for the office burrito party. It's $1,000. Do you want to see that invoice?" And you can click on View the Invoice. And this is the invoice that I was able to create using my mobile phone in just 2 clicks. Like, it's nice and rich. And for someone like Reese, he can come in and press download or print or share or take payment. So if he says pay now, he's got the option to put his credit card details in. And let's put those credit card details in, press pay now, and Ivan gets paid. So it's a really nice experience for Ivan's customers. But what I really love about this is that for Ivan, because that was a live website, it's actually able to communicate with his Essentials accounting software and tell Essentials or AccountRight, "Hey Ivan, you've just been paid. Like, check it out." So you'll see here, if you have a look at the invoice, that it says invoice paid now. So it automatically picks up the fact that an event happened on the internet, and that event was that Ivan got paid. It goes a step further though, because it's a web page and it talks to the accounting software, we know when that invoice was created, when it was delivered, when it was opened, and when it was paid. So if you've got an invoice that's been opened 3 times and not paid, you can have a much more endearing conversation with your customers about your relationship with them and why you have or haven't been paid. So we call that one Pay Direct Online. And so, you know, the benefits of this one are clear. You're going to get paid much faster, which is great for your cash flow. And it also keeps things digital in real time. So it's paperless and it's super easy to use. Sally, why is this a winner for you as Ivan's accountant?
So, look, my relationship with Ivan now is fantastic. I've made his business very efficient, and the end result is likely to be that I'm going to get paid sooner. Pretty good win.
It's a win-win. I love it. So, so that's payments. Let's move around the circle to our next strategic product strategy, and that is add-ons. So the thing I'm really impressed about with add-ons is the fact that at MYOB, we have hundreds of developers that we pay, that generally wear purple shirts, and they're paid by MYOB to build great solutions for you. But there's also an army of entrepreneurial developers out there that are developing right-for-you solutions for your clients for particular verticals. And we call that the add-on program. And this is a platform that developers can create these great add-ons. And we have over 1,500 of these developers, and they've built over 150 apps. And so you can see all these different apps that Sal's showing us now. It's pretty exciting, and there's a ton that work for your clients. Now, I'm going to introduce you to a guy called Paul in a minute. And Paul is an advisor to small businesses, just like you. And Paul's going to share his secret of how he uses these add-ons to deliver value to his clients. So let's have a chat with Paul.
There's a range of add-ons, and a lot of them are industry specific. So at the end of the day, every business needs a core accounting product to manage their back office, but depending on the industry that they're in, there might be some better suited add-ons that do the front office type work, but having it seamlessly integrate back into account right is, you know, just a benefit, because at the end of the day we need the financials in that format to be able to do the compliance reporting and to produce the financials at the end of the year. So utilising those tools as well is a great benefit, and again it's just another value that you can provide the clients if you're aware of these add-ons and can recommend them.
So we've had so much success with all of these apps and all of these add-on platforms that we've got so many of these apps. The question for you, Sally, is like, how do you work out which of these apps is best for your clients?
Yeah. So what MYOB delivered last year was actually a page that you can go to sort and filter and work out what is the right app that I should be having a discussion with my client. So it's really easy. I filter by the industry or the category or simply the product, account right, essentials accounting, etc. And I see what's available for my particular client. So in Ivan's case, I just did a very simple filter on the industry for hospitality. Came up with this fantastic app, which I think is just really cool, called Cooking the Books. No, not what we do as accountants, definitely not. What this allows you to do is actually put a recipe, so the burrito recipe, into the application, and it allows me then to manage my stock. So I know that I need so much of an iceberg lettuce, tomatoes, onions, those things that go into my burrito. And then Ivan knows how to stock the truck on the Saturday night. So fantastic little add-on, but I think it's just about me changing the relationship that I've got with Ivan and have those extended conversations rather than just doing compliance work.
Yeah, they're a great win. I'm super excited about it. It really extends what someone like Ivan can do with his MYOB software and takes it to a place that MYOB only goes so far. So with that, let's move to the last of our product strategies, Sal. So Sal's now going to talk about collaboration. So we believe at MYOB that the internet is fantastic at lifting the level of collaboration between you and your clients. And that's why we've got a couple of new features that Sal's going to talk about today that really are all about that collaboration between the accountant and the small business owner. Over to you, Sal.
Thanks, Ben. So yes, 2015 is going to be very exciting for accountants. We've got some fantastic things coming to market. The first thing I want to do is just give you an update on the collaboration we've been working towards for some time, which is our concept of the common ledger. We know there are absolute savings and efficiencies to be gained by working across the same data as your clients. So whether they be on account right, essentials accounting, essentials cash book, or in fact the new ledger that we're taking to market this year, I can use my common client accounting tools, my electronic work papers, my assets and my stat reports directly over that data. There are absolutely savings for the accountant to be had when I don't have to rekey. I'm looking at accurate data that's been updated by bank feeds and all the other things that we've seen today for the accountant. So the other side of the equation is, though, that the SME is we ran a survey very recently towards the end of last year that came up and said that 72% of your clients feel that they've got a far better relationship with you when they've moved to an online ledger. It might be as simple as logging in and looking at a transaction or helping with the coding, etc. And they just feel they've got a better relationship with you online. So it's very exciting. That's where we're at with the Common Ledger. We can now work across all of the MYOB family of products. But let me take that a step further. In 2015, we're going to introduce Accountant's Office and Accountant's Enterprise Live. So we're starting to build out a solution of online products. But before I jump in and show you those, let's talk about MYOB's cloud journey from the start. So up to 2014, we've been working on that Common Ledger, making sure that you could use your client accounting tools across all of the applications. But we've done a couple of other things. We introduced On The Go, so our Accountant On The Go application last year that allowed you to log in using any device, so any browser-based software to get your client information, addresses, phone numbers, etc. And also some of your key work in progress and debtor data. So that was MYOB On The Go last year. We also introduced last year our accredited hosting partners. So for those of you who really wanted to get online sooner and get access anywhere, anytime, you can do that through our hosting providers today. But what's 2015 all about? 2015, we bring our first releases of AE and AO Live to market. There's some fundamental things that I'll talk through in a moment, which is around contacts and getting security right. And then there's three things that we're going to bring to market. The first one, which I think is very exciting, is an MYOB portal. So think about the ability to take a document from within inside AE or AO today, publishing it to a very secure portal for Ivan, who can then electronically sign that document. We think this is a real game changer. The accounting dashboard is the next thing that we're bringing to market. So currently you have to go to different dashboards to get access to each of the different ledgers, AccountRight, Essentials Accounting, etc. We're bringing you a single dashboard to market that allows me to get access to all of my ledgers in a single location. And the third thing was something that we talked about at the Roadshow last year. We're working on a replacement for your existing AOGL, AE Mass and AE Accounts ledgers in the market with a new, what we're simply calling the MYOB ledger. It won't stop there. Throughout 2015 and beyond, we will continue to expand the offerings so that we will work towards a complete replacement of your solutions. We're well on the way to also bringing tax to market in 2015. So let's just move ahead. Let me talk about contacts. Contacts is core to your entire practice management suite. We understand that. It's used by all the applications, it's used by tax, it's used by client accounting, it's used by practice manager, it's used for documents, etc. So what we've done, using the on-the-go technology that we released last year, what we have done is we've enabled the technology to put those documents, put those clients up in the cloud so that we can use them going forward. So that's a fundamental part of our strategy. We want you to have the best of both worlds, all the feature-rich functionality that you've got in the desktop today, with all of the value that we're going to provide to you from 2015 and beyond in our cloud solutions. So very exciting. The on-the-go information that was available in 2014 will also be available in our new AO Live. So we will make sure that you can get access still to your things like the top 10 debtors, top 10 WIP, etc. Couple of other things that are really important, and we're listening to you going, we know how important security is to you. So there's a couple of things that I'm going to talk about. Firstly is, where is the data hosted? Well, we're using the Amazon servers in Sydney. So it's local in Australia, but obviously access from New Zealand for you. So we're in Asia as far as where the data is held. The next thing that's really important is encryption of that data. So we've made sure, and we've passed a whole lot of tests, that as we put data up in the cloud, let's say it's a document, for example, that you're sending to your client, once we do that it's encrypted and nobody can get access to it along the way. It's a really important part of security. And the third element of the security is the ability to use your MYOB logins. So a fancy term, we call it our OAuth technology, but really all it means is that every user accessing the system has a valid MYOB credential with their own unique password, so that they're only getting access to data that they should see. So security, we understand, is fundamental to you, and it certainly is one of our foundation building blocks for moving online that will be there right from the beginning. You've probably seen some e-bulletins recently that has been taking you on this journey and asking you to change those logins in your existing desktop software today. So look out for those. If you haven't done that already, it will be a prerequisite before you take on the next release, which is actually due in the market next week. So enough of that. Let's just jump in and have a look at what AO Live is going to look like for you. So we're in Accountants Enterprise today. Accountants Enterprise and Accountants Office are identical with the functionality that we're going to demonstrate today. Regardless of which platform you're using, what you will find is that there'll be a brand new icon up in the right-hand corner with simply a cloud button that says Live. So Ben's just going to launch that, and it's going to take us into the new world. Down the left-hand side of the navigation, you can see things like clients, accounting, documents, tasks, practice manager. These are all the things that we're working on in 2015 to deliver to you. But there's a couple I'm just going to concentrate on now, and that's the first two. As I said, clients is a pivotal part of the overall solution. We want you to continue to get all the benefits of your desktop solution while also bringing you the next generation of software. So what we've done is allowed you to see all of your contacts in the browser. And that's not holding that data, it's simply displaying what you've got in your desktop environment today. So no rekeying if somebody changes their address. I don't have to do it in 2 locations. It's a single data set. So that's really exciting. That's all of your clients in the cloud. The next thing is the accounting dashboard. I touched on this briefly before, but what we'll see now is that I can see all of my ledgers that I'm entitled to see as a user. So all my account right files, all my Essentials accounting files, Essentials cash book, and the new ledger coming to market in a single location. And using what we call single sign-on, or making sure that you don't have to re-enter your same credentials again, I can simply launch a file. So Ben's done a quick sort and found Ives Burritos, and you see now that he's going straight in going straight into that ledger, into the dashboard, and he can start working on that particular ledger. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. So as you can see, this is the look and feel of the next generation of the software, and I'll talk to you about the rollout plan shortly on that. So what we might do now is just jump back to the slides. The next thing is really exciting. So the next thing is the portal. On the left-hand side, what you can see there on the slide is what the accountant's view of the world is. So think about an accountant's view. You're typically working on a desktop, not all the time, but typically you're looking at your entire client database. So you're looking at every task that's outstanding or all the documents that have been uploaded to the portal. Whereas what you can see on the right-hand side is where we think we're coming to the market with a really unique proposition is mobile. So for the first time in a portal, Ivan's actually getting his request to sign a document, but he's doing it on his mobile phone. Now, we've recognised that Ivan isn't sitting at home waiting to receive a tax return from his accountant. He's out and about doing what Ivan does best, making his burritos. So if it's a lodgement deadline, which happens, there is a lodgement deadline, rather than me having to get in a car and go and find Ivan and get a wet signature, I use the portal as my mechanism for simply providing that PDF to Ivan, asking him to electronically sign it, and he does it while he's out and about on the job. So we see this as a significant change to the way that accountants do their work. So enough said, Ben, I think we just jump in and we do a workflow that takes us from start to finish on publishing a document to the portal. So I've got a client called Ives Burritos. We're just selecting a document from within inside our document management store, and you'll see there's a new task in the taskbar that allows me to publish to the portal. What happens then is I seamlessly move to the cloud application. So no re-logging in, but I come up to a screen where I can simply profile this document for Ivan. So it knows the client, it knows the document name. I'm simply putting a tag on it, so it's like a filing cabinet. Most importantly, though, I'm requesting that electronic signature. So Ben's typing out a beautiful email as we speak that says, "Dear Ivan, can you please review the document, make sure you're happy with it and go along and sign it." And then we're simply publishing it to the portal. What we want to do now is show Ivan's experience. So we're going to flick over to the mobile, and Ben's going to talk through what Ivan's doing.
So you may have just seen that that email come through from Sally, Ivan's accountant, and it's really sending Ivan a task and saying, "Ivan, I got something for you to take a look at." So he's able to see that Sally's asked him to approve this document, and she's asked him to sign it, and he can go in and see that it's a tax return, and he can view that. This is the bit I really love, right? Because here, this screen that he's in now is branded as Smith & Co. So from Ivan's perspective, this is not an MYOB thing. This is really just like Sally stepping up as an accountant and being extra professional with some new capability. So Ivan's able to log in using either his Google login or log in with his MYOB normal credentials that he uses for his Essentials account. And once he's in the portal, he can see what his tasks are through the task center, and he'll see this task that he's been given, which is the one that I just gave him a moment ago, which is here's your tax return, please sign it. And so the great thing about this is that if Ivan's asked to sign something, he wants to take a look at it, right? He's on the road, he's able to literally just press the attachment button, and it'll open that up. And there he's able to look at that and review that on his mobile phone. And if that works nicely for him, he can press back and then send a note to his accountant. So he can leave a comment here, "Love your work, Sally," and approve it. And it'll ask him if he wants to approve and actually attach an electronic signature. So there it is, it's done, attach an electronic signature. So Sally, tell me a little bit about what this was like working with Ivan before you had the portal.
Yeah. So as I mentioned briefly before, as fantastic as our practice was about managing workflow and the peaks and troughs, come lodgement deadline, it never actually worked. I had to get a wet signature from Ivan to lodge his tax return. And that day was chaos. It really was. Getting out there trying to find Ivan to start with and get him to sign was just madness. So this changes the world. This really does mean that I can really quickly give Ivan a call saying, "I've just sent you an email. Can you open it up in your task centre and approve that document?" And that's done in 30 seconds. Not what used to be 3 hours, possibly.
It's a great story for Ivan as well, because now Ivan has access to all of those documents that would otherwise be held on file in his accountant's office. So his previous year's tax returns and things like that. So.
Yeah. So look, Andrew is a client that's been coming on this journey with us. It's probably just best to listen to Andrew and talk about how it's changed life in his practice.
From what I see that it's going to be for us, it's going to be a communication portal, and we have actually lacked that. I mean, it's very hard to have hundreds of clients, that large clients that you've got to communicate with quite regularly and via email and via phone, and I think that communication portal will be just essential. Whereby it'll act as almost a to-do list for clients. It'll be a reminder list. It'll be avenues to upload and download things between us and approvals. Everything will be in there. How we communicate with them, how we sign financials, how we sign tax returns, how we get information from them. I think it's just absolutely great.
So as you can see, it's changing the way Andrew does business, but we're not going to stop there. We're looking at the portal as a fundamental part of the workflow inside a practice. So whether it be tax, uploading receipts that you get throughout the year, I'd be kind of keen for my accountant to do that for me. Whether it be the client accounting solution, whether it be practice management and invoices. There's a whole lot of things that we want to do for the portal throughout 2015, but the first thing we want to do is get it in your hands so you can start providing us with valid feedback. So there's a third piece of the puzzle that I'm going to touch on and give you an update on where we're at with the move online with your core ledger. Now, we know how important this is to you. You're currently either using AOGL or MAS in New Zealand. This is the eventual replacement that we're taking to market in 2015 for those products. It's currently in beta, and the only reason why we're keeping it in beta at the moment is that we've just completed a migration tool that allows you to migrate your AOGL and your MAS data into the new online ledger. And we just want to make sure that that's working perfectly before we make this available en masse to everyone. What is it? Think of what you use AOGL for or MAS today. So where I'm not using the common ledger and sharing the data with the SME using Account Writer Essentials Accounting, it's a place where I basically need to store my debits and credits so that I can do my accounting on top of it, do my electronic work papers and produce my statutory reports. If you already hold what we call the Client Accounting Bundle, so either Client Accounting Standard or Client Accounting Plus, you're going to be enabled to create unlimited ledgers in the new online world. We've got rapid data entry screens. We can do an MYE import. We can even import data from your online banking. So we've made it really simple for you to get data in on this ledger so that then you can get on with doing your job. For anyone that's on the line that knows the cash book, so I've just got a screenshot here of the cash book screen. If you're familiar with cash book, we've actually based the new ledger on the same underlying technology. There's an extra benefit that provides to us, which means that I can really easily upgrade a ledger into a cash book, enable bank feeds, enable user collaboration. So if you've got any clients that just want to have a little bit of control of their finances, but not a lot, you don't want to give them too much, then that's the perfect solution for those guys. So, start of a journey. Accountant's Office and Accountant's Enterprise Live, we will continue over the next few years to replace the functionality that you've got in your feature-rich desktop applications today. We will start with Practice Manager, Client Accounting. We're well on the way of creating the tax platform that will also bring you to market. So there's a whole world of development that we've got ahead of us, and we want to make sure that we provide you value every step of the way. If you're interested to get ahead of the game, though, and get on right now, we are in beta. So we've got 30, 40 odd clients at the moment signed up that are going on this journey with us. Lisa doesn't know this yet, but I've put her name up on this slide. So anyone that's interested, just shoot Lisa an email. Tell us a little bit about yourself, about your practice and what you're actually interested in trialling. And we'll have somebody get you on board and give you a call and get you as part of the process. So that's where we're at, Ben. We've done an awful lot of talking in the last 40 minutes.
We've done a full lap there around each of our product strategies: automation, banking, mobile payments, add-ons, collaboration. It's very exciting. Like, we're making a very big difference here for your small business clients. We're untethering them from their desk by taking advantage of mobile technology and really changing every part of all the pain points in their business that they previously didn't enjoy. No more USB sticks, no more paper checks. We're really automating all of that stuff. And it doesn't stop there, because for the accountant, it's a similar story. So for you as the advisor, like, no more USB sticks. We're revolutionizing, like, not just how you get the data, but how you work over the data, all the way through to how you get it approved by your customers with no more wet signatures. Instead, it's all electronic. So that's it from us. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, so thank you to Ben and Sally, and we might just get Ben and Sally to join us back in the studio here, back on the panel. Thank you very much. Now we've got a number of questions that have come through, so we're just going to go through a series of those here now. I'll put some questions to the esteemed panel here. The first one is for you, Ben. So there's a question coming through from somebody saying they like the automation with the new features like Smart Bills, so that's good. You've got a tick in the box there.
Right.
But then the question came through, what's coming next? It's always about what's coming next, Ben. So what have we got after Smart Bills?
Sure. So I'm also very excited about Smart Bills. It probably came through in my presentation. Whenever we see paper in the organisation, it's often an opportunity to automate that process. So we did that with the bank feed sign-up process, and we've been working with the bank partners to remove the paper there. So we think that there's a lot of other opportunities around Smart Bills to extend that. I know that there's a lot of paper receipts still with small business owners, and there's an opportunity to potentially use the mobile phone and use that smart bills technology to do a similar thing with smart receipts. So we think we can take it in that direction.
Excellent. Okay, and a question also that came through from Laura McIntyre from your company Matters. So thanks very much for your question there, Laura. So when will PayDirect be available in New Zealand?
So we're very keen to get PayDirect into New Zealand as fast as we can. I think you saw from the live demo there that we have the application ready and working, and we also have the hardware that will work in Australia and New Zealand. We're really looking for the right partner in New Zealand to make sure that the onboarding process, so that you can actually get on board and be able to take credit card payments, is a great experience. So we're working through that, and we don't have a specific date for that launch, but I can assure you that we're working as hard as we can to get it in market as fast as we can.
Great, okay, thank you. Question from Tracy from Crow Horworth. Thanks so much for your question there, Tracy. Will smart bills work with Cashbook?
So Tracy, thanks for your question. So by definition, the Cashbook doesn't have a suppliers module, so Smart Bills doesn't work with that. That said, as I mentioned before, those Cashbook users do get a lot of cash receipts, and that's where we see something like Smart Receipts or that type of functionality playing out really well for those types of users.
Great. Okay, so a few questions. I'll put this one to you actually, Tim. A few questions commenting on the benefits for SMEs with the introduction of cloud solutions coming through very clearly. But what about the benefits for accountants as we move Accountants Office and Accountants Enterprise online?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the benefits there will be huge. When we built the current on-premise versions of AO and AE, we really did it by thinking about everything that happens inside the practice, because we assumed that we were operating inside those four walls. And as we build Accountants Enterprise and Accountants Office Live, we're able to blow away those boundaries and expand our thinking to the end-to-end business processes. So something like Portal is a great start there, where we're really saying, well, this workflow doesn't stop at the end of the practice. It actually extends out and needs to come back in. So let's think about how we can do that. There's lots of organisations we can do that, whether it's with regulators, with clients, etc. The other is just in the core modules themselves, that as we redesign them, we're looking at what information is available, how we can integrate different components into different workflows in the business. So we're just able to do a better job with that with the technology nowadays than we could when we designed those modules some time ago. And then I think the final one, Kevin, that I call out is just the total cost of ownership. I mean, we know that it costs more to be able to manage and run and maintain our applications than it does to actually license them. By the time you've got the servers and you have IT staff and all of those sorts of costs, you know, it's often 2/3 of the cost of actually owning the applications. And having cloud-based versions really addresses a large part of that other cost component.
Absolutely. Great. Okay, so question for you now, Sally. We had a few questions come through on the portal, and I'd be very keen to receive those, Sally. Question here was, it's used for documents now, but where do you sort of see it really expanding in the future?
Yeah, fantastic, Kevin. So, look, we see the portal has just been fundamental to the next generation of the suite. So if you think about email today, while it's a fantastic mechanism for getting documents and other things out to clients and just asking queries, it's very personal. So something ends up in a particular user's inbox. Where at the end of the day, if I've got that query coming via the portal, everyone in the practice can see it. So it's just really opening up the limitations of email today. I see it used for tax, you know, getting receipts from the clients. I see it in the client accounting world, asking queries on work papers. It's just fundamental to the core of what we're going to develop next.
And Kevin, I think that goes to the point I was making. We can just design software differently now. So integrating the portal into an actual tax form so that a client's taking photos of donation receipts throughout the year and they just exist there and they know the state and they know exactly where they should appear.
Yeah, the year-end work's just going to change dramatically, I think, for accountants. It's all just going to be there.
Very exciting
times
coming up.
No more peaks and troughs. That's what we want. Yeah.
There's also a question from Janet Lacey from Accumulus. So thanks very much for your question there, Janet. Do clients need to be using Document Manager to get access to the portal?
Fantastic question. So I'll just speak for a couple of minutes on the rollout strategy. So our first release that we're in beta at the moment with about 30 clients. We're planning to go to general release in the first week of April to our clients that have Document Manager. But that will be very short-lived because soon after the development team have actually already done the work. Even if you don't have Document Manager, we will be enabling you to go to the portal. But something that's really important to point out for everyone, particularly in New Zealand, is that you need to be on the next generation of Accountant's Office if you haven't already made that move. So it's time to talk to your client managers, take advantage of Tax Manager, which we're getting fantastic feedback from our clients on, and get on board with the next generation so that you can start taking advantage of these fantastic value that we're providing in the cloud.
Great, and I might come back to that in a second or two, Sally, because we did have another similar question on that theme. But Tim, one for you. Some questions coming through about mobile and mobile being mentioned throughout this morning's presentation. How important is mobile in the way that we think about development?
Yeah, it's absolutely critical, Kevin. And I spoke about our 3 strategic pillars, those sort of guiding principles for everything that we do in our product suite, and on the go was one of them. We just assume now that everyone will be working on the go. So as we're designing products, that's our base assumption, that your clients, that your team are working in smaller chunks of work, so their time is more fragmented, and in all likelihood from different locations and through different devices. And so that's the underlying assumption. So, Sally was just talking about the portal. The portal interface that we've designed for your clients is actually a mobile-first interface. So, of course, it works on any browser that can connect to the internet, but we've actually designed it first, assuming that the primary use case is that your client will receive those documents or communications from you on a mobile device, and designed it so that they can respond really quickly from a mobile device. So it's absolutely core, Kevin. It is right up there, front and centre in our thinking as we design our next generation products.
Great. Okay, just a final question, and it's to you, Sally. It's on a similar theme to what you just covered, but some questions coming through. We've talked a lot about Accountant's Office and Accountant's Enterprise online. But what specifically would you love to see clients do today to just make sure they're up to date and using the latest and greatest software?
Yeah. So, of course, the first thing is we're right in the middle of compliance time in New Zealand. So there's some tax updates and format updates that are going to be mandatory. So those releases will be available next week. But that, as I said, is the start of the journey. So for those that are still using Accountant's Office Classic, start talking to your client manager, get on to the best of breed that we've got in Accountant's Office today, and make sure that you can take that journey with us going online.
Excellent. All right. Well, look, thank you very much for the questions that have come through today. I'd like to thank the panel. Thank you, Sally. Thank you, Ben. And thank you to Tim. And Sally mentioned it just a second ago. Up on screen at the moment on the slide, you'll be able to see there the people that you need to contact to get some further information. So please reach out to your MYOB client manager when it comes to anything that you'd like to know about Accountant's Office or Accountant's Enterprise. Feel free to reach out to your MYOB partner manager when it comes to the SME range, so BankLink, Essentials, and also AccountWrite Live. And I hope over the course of the 90 minutes we've really given you a sense of the innovations coming through and some of the developments coming through to help make your business life easier, but also to help make your clients' business life easier as well. So hopefully it's been an informative and productive 90 minutes. Keep an eye out for some future MYOB Live2Air webcasts. As I mentioned right at the beginning, we'll be going through a series of these over the course of the year to keep you up to date. We're also going to be emailing you with a link to the webcast that we've gone through today so that you'll be able to sit back and watch that again at your leisure. But for now, all that remains for me to do is to thank you very much for taking an hour and a half out of your day to spend it with us. We know that everybody's busy, particularly, as Sally said, at this critical time of year in New Zealand. So we really do appreciate you joining us. Thanks very much, and we'll look forward to being with you next time. Thank you.